in mind. And Williams countered for a moment. And trick!
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Red Carpet Ring here. Turnbuckle King here. We are here to talk about WWE Halloween Havoc, Devil's Playground NXT title match, Vaquer and Giulia versus Perez and Jade. We're here talking about NXT Halloween Havoc post-show results. Let's get into that. Get the likes as you come into the ring. We're here not just live from X and Facebook, but also, of course, here on YouTube as well. Get the likes as you come in. We are going to talk about the whole PLE that just happened about an hour ago, which is Halloween Havoc 2024 for the NXT roster that was on Peacock Premium Live event. We'll go over the matches and we'll go over what happened. And of course, we will go over what the rating will be, and then we'll go over other stuff as well. So let's get the likes up as we come in, like I said. And speaking of which, let's do that simple task I always ask everybody to do.
Not real.
Trust me.
But that doesn't do anything, man.
All right. So let's get into that. All right. First match on the card, we know it's the match card here actually. This was all the matches that were advertised. So the first match on the card, it was Tony D'Angelo defending his North American Championship at tables, ladders, and scares against Obai Femi. So these two went off at it. Very good matchup. They definitely made, despite Obai Femi losing the title a couple weeks ago, he still looked very dominant, very strong, very good spots in the match. Now, Tony D'Angelo was down. I know Obai Femi had a lot of offense. He was taking it out on him. He even put the zip ties on like he's been doing the past couple weeks on NXT. However, now he asked the family to stay backstage, and he did. They did that, but it got so bad for Tony. It came out and helped him. You had Chris, I can't pronounce his name, Cristofano. He came out. Luis Cristofano, if I said his name right. You had Channing Stacks come out. Even Rizzo had hit Obai Femi with a crowbar. And this is when Tony D broke out, and he got the pin on Obai Femi when he put him through the table. And yes, the winner is still champion. Tony D'Angelo, still the NXT North American champion. This was a good way to kick off the match. Like I said, Obai Femi has some good offense in there. He looked very, very dominant, very strong. But I knew, like I said before, I knew that Tony D was going to come back. And you could tell by the story that was built up. They was showing how Tony D was down, how Obai Femi kept attacking the family, and they even attacked Rizzo. Now, it was announced that this upcoming NXT, Adriana Rizzo will defend her attacker, which I said was more likely. We all know it's Nikita Lyons. But despite Obai Femi losing, he still looks dominant because Tony D did not win. He won the match and retained his title, but he had help from the family, which he did not want involved in the match, but they helped him anyway. So expect Obai Femi to get another matchup against Tony D for the title. I don't think that feud's far from over, considering the fact he did not win the championship on his own. But it was a good way to kick off the match. Like I said before, I do see Obai Femi challenging Tony D once again. I do see that happening in their future. So that's going to be interesting to see. But congratulations to Tony D on retaining his title. I said he was going to retain. I knew that was going to happen, but that was definitely something to that I see this far from over. Let's get to the next match. Now, the next match on the card was surprisingly Roxanne, Perez, and Cora versus Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. I thought this may have been upper on the first match. I thought this was in the first match, or at least on the upper card, second to last match, but it wasn't. Now this match here was great. Cora and Jade, Cora, Jade, and Roxanne, they definitely had matching outfits. That was great to see. I liked how these two definitely showed out and did their thing. But other than that, I think this match was great. I like the great teamwork between Stephanie and Giulia. It was really in sync. Even Roxanne and Cora did their thing too. So I like how both teams worked out very well. Cora Jade looked good in her comeback. Now, Cora Jade, people were skeptical how she was going to be when she came back. People were skeptical if she was, even going to have the same effect as she did before. A lot of people was concerned about that. They were. And I kind of can't blame them for that because remember, Cora Jade had an injury. And she had an injury, however, she took more time off. She had another injury. Like I said, these were good moments here. But other than that, though, this match was great. Very good match. Very good setup with these two. I like how Cora and Roxanne worked well together. Now, I said before, and I'll say it again, that these two were definitely going to be something special in this match. I said the match was going to be unique. I said it was going to be different. And I said all of that. I say all that to say this, that Giulia and Stephanie was not going to lose this match. I said that the whole time going in. And what I mean is, since they was not going to lose, that's exactly what happened. They did not lose the match. They didn't lose. They didn't lose momentum. They kept it very, very good tempo. Both teams did. Like I said, they kept a very good team. Like I said, Roxanne and Cora looked good. But the thing about it is, the winners of this match, as I stated, as I predicted, yes, it was Stephanie and Giulia. They won the match. And I know afterwards, when the match was over, we saw actually multiple times throughout the night. And we saw Zarya now. Zarya came out. She came out during the whole matchup. But we knew that was going to happen. But this match was great, though. Definitely good match. I got to get my hats off to all four ladies.
Yeet.
So salute to Stephanie and Giulia. They've been looking real good since they have been on the main event scene. Since they've been on the scene of NXT. It's set to main event, don't get me wrong. Definitely set to main event. But I like how these girls, they definitely showed out tonight. So Giulia, Stephanie, Cora, Roxanne, they all did well. They all did very, very exceptionally well. I'm pretty sure people were skeptical how they was going to do in their first PLE. And Stephanie and Giulia, they rose the occasion. They definitely rose the occasion. I like how these two, did their thing. Definitely like that. But like I said, other than that, now I don't know what's going to happen next. Now that we know that Giulia and Stephanie won, I don't know what's going to be the next move. That's going to be very, very skeptical to see how they're going to play that out. That I'm not sure. I don't know how that's gonna work in this whole thing. That I don't know how they're gonna figure that into play. But I know they'll figure something out. But I don't know how they're gonna do this, but I know they'll figure something out. But Stephanie and Giulia, great chemistry. Cora and Roxanne, great chemistry. They all had great chemistry in there one way or another. Like I said, these women here, they just, like I said, a Hollywood theme, it was definitely something else. I like how, like I said, all teams got an opportunity to get some offense in. All teams had great chemistry. They all did well. If you guys remember that match, do not miss out on that match. That was a good match. Good match of those women in that matchup. I like how they, like I said, everyone stepped up when they needed to be. Everyone stepped up. Check out that matchup between them. They're definitely a good matchup. But everyone did their thing. Everyone showed out. And I can't wait to see. Now I'm trying to see that's going to be how long this alliance of Roxanne Cora is going to hang on to. And also this whole alliance also of Stephanie and Giulia. I don't know how long that's going to go either. That I'm not sure. But they definitely did their thing, though. I like I said, once again, I give them the credit where credit's due. They definitely showed why they deserve to be be the top premier women talent of NXT. We cannot deny that, not one bit. So, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen next for Cora and Roxanne. They did lose. I don't think the alliance is over. I don't see nobody turn on anybody right now. But we definitely got to see what's going to happen next. Cora, Roxanne. Like I said, if anything, I see Cora protecting Roxanne from losing her NXT Women's Championship. I don't see that happen. I don't see anyone trying to take it from her because she won it herself. That's her ultimate goal. But we definitely gonna see what the game gonna be. What's the game plan for that? There'll definitely be a game plan once that come in. So that I'm not denying, not one bit. The only time will tell what the next move is going to be for everyone. So that we gonna, like I said, only time is gonna. We just got to see how they're gonna play this out. They've got to see how this is gonna play out. I think it'll play out for the best. As long as, like I said, booking, time, everything. As long as nothing's rushed, I think everything good. Same for Stephanie and Giulia. I think they'll do that. It'll be a done deal. But I definitely see what's that's going to be. Now let's get on to the next match of the card. You say that, but you won't hear. If I'm so that, why you on this? Why you on my stream then? Come on, man, get out of here with this garbage, bro. You trolls amuse me. All right, let's get on to the next match. Ambulance, we got Andre Chase versus Ridge Holland. Now this match here is Andre Chase, Ridge Holland, the whole story. I know that Ridge Holland has been tearing down Chase U. I like the build that they were showing of him taking down Duke Hudson. He took down Riley Osborne, and of course, Andre Chase is already ambulance. But same time, Andre Chase got to take him down. And I have to say, this match was not one of my favorite matches on the card. I did not like this match so much. It just went on very slow. Andre Chase is pretty much like Ridge Holland had most of the offense. Andre Chase, it's like he did very little. He had a little bit of steam going in, and it just the crowd seemed not too alive on this one. It didn't seem to. It just I don't get it. I don't get it. So I don't get what the whole thing is, but I don't know what the whole thing is with those two. But other than that, this match just went off slow. Crowd was not into it, and you would think so. Even when Andre Chase was getting into it, it was just nothing there. Meanwhile, it was Ridge Holland who was able to put Andre Chase into the ambulance, and next thing you know, we have our winner, Ridge Holland. Like I said, not my cup of tea. I'll talk more about this later on, but that's what it come down to. I just didn't understand this whole match. It was, I don't know, just wasn't. I was expecting a little bit better out of this match, but we'll get more into that. That is the end of that match as well. We'll get on to the next match of the card. We'll get on to more of it. So let me get on to that right now. But this match here, like I said, I'm gonna talk about this match later on. It'll be discussed, but it's just nothing there. All right, let's get on to the Women's North American Championship. We have Kalani Jordan's champion. She was in a gauntlet match, and she faced off 3 members of Fatal Influence. The spinner of the spinner's choice, that match was announced what it would be at the pre-show. So the first person she wrestled was the Jasmine Nix. That was actually not a bad startup. Kalani won that match. The next thing you know, we had Jacy running down. Then she got Jayne 2 on a roll-up. You can see the fatigue started kicking with Kalani Jordan. Then, of course, Fallon Henley, she won. She went in and faced Kalani last. And, of course, she got the brunt end of everything. And we even saw both Jayne and Jasmine interfere during this matchup, cause a distraction. And it caused when Kalani's going to hit the moonsault, she missed. Fallon Henley had a finisher, that knee move, whatever it's called. And next thing you know, we got a brand new Women's North American champion, and her name is Fallon Henley. Now, I said this on my other channel, Pink Square Circle. I said that it was a chance that Kalani will lose if it was going to be a gauntlet match. I said that if you put all the women against her, she's going to come out very strong, or she's going to, at the very end, going to lose. So I knew that's how it was going to go down. Jesus Escala, I'm trying to pronounce your name, Guevara. Salute to you. You said Zarya Future in champion NXT. Man, we gonna talk about her too. You're right about that, though. I agree. K1 Mayfield said, yes, you did. Yeah. I said that Kalani, she was not going to make it out. I wanted her to retain, but I said that Kalani, this would be too much for her. Now, she just faced one member of this group, and maybe even if it was a no DQ match, she would have retained. But when you put the odds stacked against her like that, especially in a gauntlet match like this, especially when they doing anything they can, this is a heel stable. They're going to make sure that they do anything to get the belt off Kalani, and that's what they did. They're trying to build the stable up. It's not so much only Fallon Henley is being built. I see this title's being built for the whole stable. Fatal Influence is somewhat similar to Fatal Attraction, also a group that Jayne was in as well, alongside Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolan. But this is what they're doing. They're building up this stable. They're making them look good, and they have to make a name for themselves. So I get it. I get the whole thing. And they had to do that at Kalani Jordan's expense. And this is what resulted in Kalani Jordan losing her Women's North American Championship, and a member of Fatal Influence winning, which is Fallon Henley. So congratulations to Fallon Henley. So I knew this was happening, though. This was not surprising at all. Like I said, it's not really a shocker. Kalani Jordan, she has held the belt now. She won the belt back in June. I mentioned that before too. She won the belt back in June, and that's she had for about 4 months. So I knew that if she was either going to lose at the end of the year or now. But she did a good job retaining. I know a lot of people get Kalani Jordan slack. She's born champion, yada, yada, yada. No, she's not. When she puts on great matches, she does. The only problem with Kalani Jordan, she did defend it more on weekly television of NXT. It was only mostly limited to only PLEs mostly. But other than that, she did a good job as champion. I don't know why people gonna hate. That's what they do. Omar Fame is going to win the next championship. Yeah, he is. But I think right now he's still going to be feud with Tony D'Angelo, depending on how the finish of that match went. So I think that's far from over. But yeah, down the line, he's definitely going to win that title. But now Fallon Henley, they did celebrate. Fallon Henley won the title. Again, Zarya came out and she attacked all 3 members of Fatal Influence. And because Fatal Influence said statement made. As soon as they said it, they looked around. The lights went out, and she was behind them, and she attacked them. So Zarya was not playing around. Definitely not playing around. But we're gonna see what else is gonna happen with Fatal Influence. We also gonna see what's gonna happen when it comes down to. I wonder if it's gonna be some type of friction in that stable over that title. Because I can see Jacy Jayne saying it now. Well, Fallon, are you going to defend it against me? She going to eventually want the belt. Jasmine Nix, not so much because she's newer. But they're going to shot that belt. And I know if you think about it, Fallon Henley would have won without the brunt work that Jacy and Jasmine put in. So expect that to be crazy. I'm just saying. Expect that to be wild. Expect some kind of pushback. Expect that to go down that way. That's all I'm saying. Well, than that, congratulations to Fallon winning the title. Kalani, we knew it was a matter of time she was going to lose the belt, and she did. But I know there's going to be definitely more in the future for Kalani Jordan. I do, however, somewhere down the line, I would like to see Kalani Jordan go out and challenge and win the Women's NXT Championship. Or she gets in a tag team with somebody. So we got to give credit where credit's due. Kalani was a good champion. People said she wasn't, but she was. She may not have the best character for people, according to the critics, but she definitely put on good, solid matches. So, some people going to say what they're going to say, but I don't think she was a terrible champion, as people make her out to be. I think she did everything she could for that matter. And then when it comes down to that, there's nothing more you can honestly do at this point. There's nothing more you can do. But I think she definitely did everything she could as a champion. And she showed out. She always showed out. She was the first ever Women's North American champion. We won't forgive her for it. But I do expect her to somewhere down the line become the Women's NXT champion. But she has done a lot. She's definitely had a lot of growth since her debut over a year ago. So expect something like that to happen. Don't know when, but I do expect something like that to happen. But she deserves it. Let's see. We'll get on to other stuff before we get to main event. Do you think Joe Hendry's coming back? K1, if I said your name right. You asked me that because last night was TNA Bound for Glory. And I did the watch along here. If you checked it out, check it out, guys. I did the watch along for that. Joe Hendry was challenging for the TNA World Championship against Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, if you guys are familiar with him. And he did not win the match, but he was over. But he did hint on his social media account that he's going to make an impact for like the next couple months down the line or something like that. And basically what I'm getting to is rumored he's going to be at the Royal Rumble for 2025. So expect to see him at the Royal Rumble, because I heard his contract is supposed to expire with TNA very, very soon. So we could very well see that happen. We could very well see him debut at the Royal Rumble. Now, does he go to NXT again like he did before? I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna go to the main roster. I don't know what the whole case is gonna be. But I do know one thing: he's on his way out of TNA, and that could be the reason why he did not win last night in the world title match. I'm just saying, could be a reason why. But we're gonna see what else is going to happen next for Joe Hendry and his character and all that. We definitely gonna see what's going to happen next. But other than that, though, we gotta wait and see. Definitely gotta wait and see. What you guys gotta say? Yeah, he may come over. And also, before we get to the main event, Gigi Dolan returns to NXT after her injury. She was the host of the show, if I didn't mention earlier. Yes, she was the host. She didn't do nothing else. I don't know what they're gonna do with her after when we get back to regular NXT on Tuesday. That I don't know. I'm not sure of right now at this moment. But I do know that she's back at NXT. I don't know who her feud's gonna be. But it's good to see her back. I know she was set to return very soon, but I'm glad she's returned now. But Gigi Dolan really hasn't done much even before injury. I know she wasn't doing much after the split from Toxic Attraction. She feuded with Jacy. She defeated her in matches, but nothing really, took off for her career after that. Nothing really took off. Hopefully they do something with her now. Really hope they do something later on, but we'll see. We're gonna see what the next move's going to be. Let's see, and what else happened that night. Remember, we also had William Regal. Remember, Lexis King, he's a babyface now, and he said he needs a corner man to be in this match against Charlie Dempsey on the upcoming episode of NXT. Remember, he needed a wingman pretty much, and surprisingly, William Regal, Charlie Dempsey's dad, real life dad, came out. The former NXT general manager as well. He said he'll be in his corner. So for this upcoming episode of NXT, we will have Lexis King challenge Charlie Dempsey for the NXT Heritage Cup, and William Regal will be in his corner. So that's going to be interesting to see. But other than that, then of course this was also from the beginning of the match, Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo, the family and everything that I talked about. Well, with that being said, let's get on to the main event, guys. Main event we know was NXT Championship, Devil's Playground rules, Devil's Playground style. All ego, Ethan Page versus Trick Williams. And this match here, it has some very good moments. I liked how they did play off how Ethan had to get the full offense. But Trick has some good offense. He didn't look weak. I know Ethan Page did do the Eagles edge to the announce table. I do know that that Trick Williams did the neck break on top of the screws inside the ring. A lot of stuff they did. A lot of good spots there. But it seemed like there was nothing more that these two could do in this match. I think there was no more to the story here. I think they put everything they had in the match October 1st when Trick Williams won the championship. It's my opinion. But other than that, though, that's how I see it. But other than that, though, let's see if you guys remember that part of the match.
In mind. And Williams countered for a moment. And Trick!
So that was one part of the match. Now later on, it was Trick. He did come back, like I said. They held it down the best way they could. It was definitely a good story with these two because it was a Devil's Playground. They was fighting all outside the ring. Trick was giving it to Ethan. Ethan was giving it to Trick. So like I said, very good match. Very good match. Trick did the trick shot on him, everything. Now, after the match, Trick Williams, he came out and he hit Ethan Page. He retained the NXT title. Meanwhile, Ethan Page was down. We did get Rich Holland attack him. And then Ethan Page looked at Rich Holland and say, "What are you doing? What are you doing? This is my fight, not yours." They both seemed to double team. And early in the night, Rich Holland, after his match with Andre Chase in the pre-show, he interrupted Bubba Ray Dudley, who did not take any kindness to how he was disrespected by Rich Holland. So he told him that was twice after Rich Holland had his, after he interrupted Bubba Ray after his match with Andre Chase, the ambulance match. And this time around, Bubba Ray had enough. He attacked both Ethan and Rich Holland, and he was sticking up for Trick Williams. Now we know they are pushing, also they push out through the match that the November 6th episode of NXT will be in the old Philadelphia Stadium where they held the classic ECW brand. I'm pretty sure Bubba Ray will maybe team up with Trick or be a special guest referee or whatever the case may be. He will have some involvement in that match. Now, like I said, that was shown with Bubba Ray, and also Jada Parker versus Lola Vice. They're going to have a hardcore match November 6th. ECW legend Dawn Marie will be special guest referee. So definitely some good things there. But definitely a very good match. I like this match. Good match to close out the show. K1, you said, wasn't the Rascals #1 contender for the tag team championship? Yes, they were until Trey Miguel got injured. So they had to call an audible on that. And end up being Javon Evans. And I think it was, who replaced them? No. I'm sorry. Correction. Javon Evans, Cedric Alexander will challenge this upcoming NXT episode. But for the match you're talking about right now, when Trey Miguel got injured, they called an audible, and it ended up being the Street Profits returning to NXT. They end up fighting for the NXT Tag Team titles that particular Tuesday. One of the guys in the, like I said, I think it was Trey Miguel, and I think that's why they wrote off that story where Wesley took him out and all that stuff. But that is why that did not go down. I don't know if they're ever going to get one, but other than that, with this match here, winner and still NXT champion. Yes, Trick Williams whooped that Trick. So Trick is still the NXT champion as I predicted. Not a shocker, not a surprise, not anything like that. But we're gonna definitely see what next is going to happen with Trick Williams. Now that we got Rich Holland in the picture, I'm trying to see if I guess he will be the next challenger for Trick Williams' title. Ethan Page, I really hope they don't give him another chance because he already had a rematch and he lost. So let's get over that. But yeah, Trick Williams did win. Now let's go over what went wrong with NXT. I'm sorry, review. Let's go review. Excuse me. Let's go over review. So let's do that right now. Review of Halloween Havoc. What do I review this particular show? What do I give this show of everything? Now, after I give a review, I will go into what went wrong with NXT. I will do that as well. But other than that, though, guys, let's see. Now, we had, 5 matches on the card altogether. And let's see how this would be worked out. So, according to the NXT Halloween Havoc, still a good, solid show, 4 out of 5. A couple things I didn't like about this PLE. I think it's a very good, well thought out show. You had a good opener, Oba Fabi versus Tony D'Angelo, table ladder scares kick it off, and we close out the show with Trick Williams versus Ethan Page. That was Playground Rules for the NXT Championship. And we have some good matches in between as well. So 4 out of 5. You said 7 out of 10. Okay, so you probably give it, if it was out of 5, you give it a 3 out of 5. Like I said, it was okay. Not too bad. And also, you know, we had some like I said, Gigi Dolman made an appearance. She returned. William Regal made an appearance there. But let's get into what went wrong with NXT. So there's some things I did not like about this particular PLE. Despite the rating, whether it's low or high, what did I not like about this here? Did Tony D'Angelo really need the family to help him retain? I did not like this finish. If you're building Tony D up as the guy to end the longest reigning North American Championship of all time, which is Obafemi, and he defeated him for that belt, to help retain it against this guy, you needed not 1, not 2, 3 members of your stable, the family, to help you retain. If you guys remember that, I did not like that at all. I thought it kind of brought things down, to be honest with you. Kind of thought it brought it down. I didn't understand that at all. But it doesn't make any sense. Why would you build someone up like that just for them to look weak? Tony D looked weak in his victory. Even though he won and he retained his title, he still looks somewhat weak. I don't like how you needed all of them to help you retain. I thought that was unnecessary. Look at that. You had Erjan Rizzo with a crowbar. You had Stacks and Cristofo hit a finisher through the table. Then Tony D finished it up and did his finisher through the table. And that's only to retain the belt and still be the NXT North American champion. I thought this was whack. I don't like that part. If Tony D was strong enough to beat him on his own in the beginning to win the North American title, he should have retained it on his own. Remember, Tony D did say he didn't want the family to even appear during this matchup. He wanted to do this all on his own, and it turns out he didn't do it on his own. This kind of makes Tony D look weak as a champion. And there could be a reason. I'm going to call it now. It could be a reason that maybe Obafemi wins this title back and he becomes a 2-time North American champion. Because now you look vulnerable. So you know what list that goes on.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
I didn't like this part of the match. I like Tony D'Angelo. I like the family. I like the storyline. I like all of it. Obafemi, definitely, I like him. He's a monster, but you did not retain this belt on your own. Chloe said, I didn't need her. It was cheesy. Yeah. Salute to you, Chloe. NXT seems too much into the story sometimes. It does. I agree. And that's why I try to follow the story, make sure it makes sense. But when they too into it, goes kind of go left. But I see what you mean by that. Mike Lava, salute to you. But yeah, I didn't like this part of PLE. Tony D did not have to use the whole stable to help him retain his title. And you know, Obafemi on the next episode of NXT is going to remind him of that. He's going to say, dude, you had to get all your people to help you beat me. It took 4 people to beat me. You could not retain that belt on your own. Meaning, Obafemi is going to ask for another rematch. So I expect that to come. Now, Tony D can defeat Obafemi again, but this time alone, then Obafemi will be away from the North American Championship picture. But this made him look very, very vulnerable. I love the story, but the fights just come out short sometimes because of that. That's true. That's why I always say when it comes to storylines and characters, booking is so important. Booking is key. But this is one thing I did not like about this whole thing. Another thing, I'm going to get to what went wrong with NXT Halloween Havoc. Ridge Holland versus Andre Chase. This match was not good at all. It was actually the worst match on the card. it was so obvious that Andre Chase was going to lose. And it was so obvious that Ridge Holland had all the dominance and offense in the world to win the match. I mean, Andre Chase had one last fight when it was at the ambulance. He tried to put Ridge in once, and he hit him with the stretcher. And then it's like when Ridge Holland hit that finisher outside by the ambulance onto the ground, Andre was done. There was no fighting him, no nothing. And if this is story building for Ridge Holland, taking out Chase U, imploding it after losing the NXT Tag Team titles at NXT No Mercy, and Andre Chase supposed to get revenge and redemption on Chase U being shut down by him, which I mean, Duke's in the hospital, and Ridge Holland and Riley Osborne down. If they're hell being heartbroken, it's like the fight went there. I mean, they even played off like it's like I said, the crowd really wanted into this match. Neither was I. And then now too, not only that, this kind of ties in with this. I didn't agree with his win. That's one. And also, not just that, this was not the last time we saw Ridge Holland on this PLE. We saw him again. Now that's why they had him win. Remember, he won this match. Then they rushed him right into the NXT title picture. Now he's going to be Trick's next challenger. I guess he's going to get fed to Trick, whatever the case may be. I still don't like how this ended. This was whack. Should have been done much better. And we already know when it comes down to things like this, I don't like. You already know what list they go on.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. I did not like this Ridge Holland win. And I feel like this match was rushed. It's like they did this to set Ridge Holland to go after Trick Williams. Now, I highly doubt he's going to win NXT title, but I did not like this at all, guys. This was terrible. They should have had a series match. I'm thinking Andre Chase should have won this match. Ridge Holland could have had another match with him, and he could have won that match. He could have been Trick's challenger later on down the line. Ridge Holland is not worthy of getting a NXT championship match this early. We let's be serious here. Come on now. Simone Production, salute to you. But yeah, I didn't like this win here. I didn't like this win at all. I thought it was whack. I just was not into this at all. It didn't make no sense to me. Yeah, so yeah, I was not a fan of this whole thing with Ridge Holland. Andre Chase should have won this match. I don't know why he didn't. So, with that being said, I didn't like that part. Like I said, he shouldn't even won. But let's go to the next part of what I didn't like about this particular PLE. Let's get into it. Let's be honest here. Kalani was set up to lose. She had no chance of winning this match. She had no chance of retaining her belt. Once we found out about a Spinner's Choice, that it was going to be a gauntlet match picked by Fatal Influence. She was set up for failure from the beginning. So obvious she was going to lose. Now, if she had made a miracle out of it and ended up winning, that would have been great for Kalani. Definitely make her the heroic champion that she could be. But once I saw she barely had energy doing a second match with Jacy Jayne, I knew she was going to lose, and I knew one of these members was going to win the belt. They was going to make sure of that. But Kalani should have held the belt a little bit longer, but I get it. And we want to push Fallon, Henley, the whole stable, like I said earlier, Fatal Influence. That's what they wanted to do. That's cool. But once it was a gauntlet, I knew that was it for Kalani. Like I said, Kalani, hopefully she goes out, have a couple feuds under her belt, singles feuds without a championship. And then she later on goes out for the NXT Women's Championship. Maybe she could beat Roxanne, or maybe she just be a champion down the line. Because she is an incredible, great talent. But this was so obvious here, though. So obvious. Would have been a better gauntlet, yeah. CeeLo, salute to you. Yeah, it would have been a better gauntlet. And then, too, not only did Kalani lose, she literally lost because all three members of Fatal Influence, they caused distraction. You had Kalani Jordan going up at the top rope, that Jayne was there. And then when Kalani Jordan had the pin, now Jasmine Nix distracted the referee. She was set up to lose. She was never going to win this whole thing. I did not see how she was going to win this whole matchup. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. But that's me. But it was just not set up that good at all. But other than that, though, like I said, Kalani, great champion. I guess it was just time for her to lose the belt. But to each his own. But she had no chance of winning. No chance at all. None whatsoever. I just couldn't see how she had a shot at winning and retaining her belt. There was no way that was going to happen. It wasn't set up that way. That's why. It just was not set up for her to. It wasn't set up for her to win. And that's, like I said, hopefully they really push this stable. It'd be a top stable NXT. But you know what list goes on. You already know what list goes on. At the end of the day.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So I didn't like that part. It was so obvious. Now, another thing I didn't like. We're going to talk about Zarya. Zarya made an impact tonight. She attacked Fatal Influence. My question is with her, I wonder where she's going to fit in already. We already got a stacked women's roster on NXT. Now, remember, in the past month, we have had Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer, who just debuted. We just had those two come on. They had what? Couple matches, on NXT already. The next thing you know, we got Stephanie and Giulia. They at a PLE, and they won their first PLE match. So we already got these two here. These are still two new girls. And now we have Delta. So we have three new women in NXT. I'm not counting the returning ones, just new. It's the third new woman in NXT within a month. And within that time frame, not only did we get Giulia, Stephanie, and Zarya, we had a returning Cora Jade. We've had a returning Nikita Lyons. We also have now a returning Gigi Dolan. So three women that were on the injury shelf have came back. They're back. And now we're adding another three. So that's 6 extra women on the roster in the past month. 3 returning, 3 new debuts. So I'm just saying, where does Zarya fit in? My thing is, the reason I'm saying that, I hope Zarya. I hope Zarya does not get lost in the shuffle. I don't think she will. She's going to be pretty much the dark character that's going to dominate everything. And I just don't hope. I hope they do something with her. Hope they don't rush her at the same time too. I'm just skeptical of how she's looking now, because they kind of botched her debut when they had her show up at the go home show of Halloween Havoc before Halloween Havoc PLE. They should just saved her period for tonight. And everyone knew she was coming because we saw her in the last NXT episode. I know social media ruins things, but we still should have kept off until tonight. So that sucks. And I'm gonna get into more into that. Now we're gonna get into current news. But before we do, let's go to match of the night. Match of the night, I want to say that I liked out of all of the matches tonight on the PLE. Like I said, it was a solid PLE, but I want to highlight one particular match that I did like, and I thought it was great. Great work of the match, and I'm gonna talk. I talked about this earlier. But for those who coming in now, or those who don't remember, the match tonight of NXT Halloween Havoc, we're talking about Stephanie Vaquer and Giulia versus Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Both teams had great chemistry. Both teams worked well together cohesively. Cora Jade looked good in her return match. So, and then it's the match they won. I think it was the best match of the whole night. Stephanie and Giulia really impressed me. I knew they were good, but now seeing tag team, they worked even better. I can only see what they're going to do next with these two. You know, as far as the tag team goes, or do they go to separate ways? Cora Jade, Roxanne, same thing. They worked well. We know the history with those two. They were women's NXT champions, tag team type champions, until Cora turned Roxanne threw the belt in the trash. I talked about that. Prior to tonight. The whole history there. This was the match of the night, and I think it deserves very well recognition. And I did it earlier. I'm gonna give it recognition again.
Yeet.
But definitely match of the night of NXT Halloween Havoc. I thought all girls put in great work, and it shows here that the women of NXT, the roster is second to none. You line up all the rosters of Raw, SmackDown, or any other corporation, AEW, TNA, NWA, OVW, MLW, maybe even WOW women of wrestling. That's the only one that may have better of women roster because it's a women's organization. But this is the best women's roster. Nothing tops the women's NXT roster. And it just got better. But let's get to current news, though. Stuff going on in the wrestling world today. Let's get more into that. Let's talk about it. Current news. Let's see what's going on with here. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. So I kind of touched on this already. I want to go more into it. Did you guys know that for the NXT women's roster fact, did you know that they are, if you look at the roster here, for active women's roster on Raw and SmackDown, NXT has 22 women on the roster. 22. And like I said before, with Zarya now debuting, and now we have women returning to NXT, that's a lot of women on the roster. A lot of women on the roster. I don't know what else they're going to do with this roster. But look, if you look on here, they have more women than anything. I now know Raw and SmackDown, that's not all the women per se. But as a whole, NXT has the most women on any roster. Any roster. And the reason I'm bringing this up, when it's time for call-up, I don't like saying this, but I gotta be realistic. I gotta be realistic regarding this because it's inevitable. And the thing about it is, all these women on the roster that's on NXT right now, when it's time to get called up, I got some breaking news. I gotta pull away Barrett. I'm afraid I got some bad news. Not everyone's not gonna make it to the main roster. You can't tell me all these women down here in the NXT roster is going to make it to the main roster without some getting cut in between. You just cannot tell me that. 22 women at the whole roster. 22. And it's not even all of them. This is a good portion of them. That's my only fear. I like all the women on NXT for the record. I don't have no ill will saying all these women are hurt. No, they're great talent. But here, I think WWE's run to the problem of, especially NXT, we have too much talent on the table. What can we do with the rest of the women on this roster? You know, that's my only thing. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with all these women. I really don't get it. I don't know. But I will say this. The ones who don't get called up, expect them to pop up in TNA, for example, you know, with the partnership with NXT. Independent scene, maybe MLW, Major League Wrestling, or NWA. Well, maybe not NWA, but those three, yeah. I just don't think everybody's going to make it. It's just too many women on there. Chloe said they're only going to bring so many up. Yeah, they're only going to bring so many up. You're right. Out of time especially. Because we got to think about not only everyone's going to, not everyone can come up. Injuries are a factor. We see that with NXT. We just had 3 women that returned back to NXT women's roster that were on injury. Like I said, we had 3 women that just came back. And these are returning women. We got to keep that in mind too, because all it takes is one bad injury and your career is over. And like I said, I'll go over the names again. Cora Jade, Nikita Lyons, Gigi Dolan. All 3 of them just came back from injury. Gigi Dolan just came back tonight, Halloween Havoc. Nikita Lyons, we saw in the past week. Cora Jade, we saw her the October 1st edition of NXT, a CW debut episode. Within a month, we seen 3 women come back. And like I said, we seen 3 come in. Now, if I was WWE, like I said, I'm not trying to put any shame or trying to hate on anybody trying to come up in wrestling. But, you know, the thing about it is, since the roster is stacked, the way it is, honestly, and I know the NXT's not going to do this. What they need to do to prevent, you know, this overage of women on the roster, you need to do a hiring freeze. NXT, you need to do a hiring freeze. Do not hire no more women on an NXT developmental brand, not NXT, not even NXT level up. Don't bring nobody else in, because we still have those people too that's on NXT level up. We still have women that are in the PC that just came in from the NIL Next in Line program. Don't bring nobody else in here, WWE. We have more than enough women. If anything, bring some more men in. It's too many women on this roster. So hopefully they don't do that, because next thing you know, we have all these women in NXT, all these women on the roster, and like Chloe said, some will be called up at a certain amount of time. And next thing you know, we saw all these women on TV. We see them in matches. We see them in feuds. Next thing you know, we don't see them anymore. They don't even go here no more.
You standing here, and you don't even go here.
I hope it doesn't come down to that for some of the women on the roster, because the roster is extremely talented. It's at an all-time high. But it's just too many women on here. It's too much talent. Speaking of talent being called up to the main roster from NXT, I don't know if you guys heard, there's a rumor floating around that Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend have been called up to the SmackDown brand. Remember, for the past several weeks, we've been seeing Jakara and Lash on Raw, then NXT SmackDown, then Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Well, they're saying that they're going to be official of the SmackDown brand. And if so, congratulations to them. I'll give them a yeet for that. Congratulations.
Yeet.
Like I said, I think we know that they are in the title match. We know they got a title match coming up right now. I do know that. But if you remember, they was not on this PLE tonight. I didn't see Jakara or Lash. I didn't even see him backstage. I don't remember seeing them. But we have to remember too, like I said before, they've been on TV for weeks. And Jakara and Lash are currently, as of right now, they're challenging for the Women's Tag Team Championships. They're going to be challenging, of course, Jade and Bianca, the champions. Then we have Damage Control that they're feuding with. And then we just had Chelsea and Piper appear on the latest episode of NXT. But they're saying that these two have been officially called up to the main roster. Like I said, I know it's a rumor. If it's official, congratulations. If it's not, excuse me. That's why I said alleged rumor. Because I don't remember WWE putting this on their website. We have brought Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson to the main roster. So I don't remember seeing that. I don't even think they updated their roster just yet. If they did, congratulations to them. So, well, I'm looking right now. Matter of fact, while I'm talking about this, I'm trying to see what brand that they're on, because it could very well be the case or not the case for that matter. I'm trying to see. I'm not sure if they on this brand or not. And I'm looking to see right now, because I'm going to the website. Now I'm looking at Jakara Jackson. Now, according to the website, she's still on NXT. But WWE got to update that stuff. I'm looking right now. She's only on NXT. That's Jakara. If Jakara's on NXT, still listed as an NXT superstar, that means it's possible that Lash Legend is as well, since they're a package deal. But like I said, I know things they gotta take a while to update. And I don't see, let me see, Lash Legend as well, NXT. So according to the WWE.com website, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are still a part of the NXT roster, but they've been appearing on all shows. But maybe they're about to be called up. It may not be right now, but they said that they're about to call them up to the SmackDown brand. But I know as of right now, they are on the NXT brand. I just checked the website. Both names, Lash and Jakara, and it says NXT. But I think they said that they're pushing to get them called on to the main roster, and they will be on SmackDown. I mean, they are going to be a crowd jewel. They're traveling all the way across to Saudi Arabia to be challenging for the Women's Tag Team Championships. So there could be some truth to that they may be getting called up very, very soon. They don't just do that for any NXT stars. They could be NXT listed right now, but they could possibly be main roster bound to go to SmackDown. So just want to put that out there. That's floating around right now in the wrestling world. Chloe said it'd be kind of cool if they came on. I could see some storylines with them. Yeah, I could too. They could feud with, of course, Jade and Bianca. They could feud with Chelsea and Piper. They could feud with Damage Control. But they're saying that they may get called on. So we got to see what's going to happen next with that. But other than that, though, guys, I don't have no other news, though. That's all that's been going on with the wrestling world. Like I said, the PLE was solid, was good. Some things I wish could have been done a little bit better. I miss Naomi. Oh, you mean? Well, Naomi's still with WWE, still on SmackDown. She didn't go anywhere. Naomi's back in WWE. If you didn't know, it's close. She's back in WWE as of Royal Rumble early this year. Yeah, Naomi's still around. She just came back this year. But yeah, like I said, other than that though, guys, this is all the wrestling news going on. We talked about WWE NXT Halloween Havoc, Devil's Playground NXT title match, Vaquer and Giulia versus Perez and Jade, which is Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. It's the post-show results premium live event on Peacock. You guys in the comment section below, let me know what you think of the NXT Halloween Havoc PLE tonight. That was on Peacock. Did you think was good, bad, indifferent, or was sour, whatever the case may be? You guys let me know. We are, however, speaking of Crown Jewel, we are a little under a week away. This upcoming Saturday will be Crown Jewel. I will cover that as well. And also, I did cover yesterday TNA Bound for Glory. Great PLE. If you haven't checked it out, check out the watch along I did. And check out, if you can, TNA Bound for Glory. It was great PLE as well. Some of the NXT stars were over there. Winnie Chu was over there. Brandley Reese was over there. So definitely another one. Great weekend of wrestling shows. And we have Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then we have Crown Jewel Saturday. But other than that, though, guys, that's all I have with the content here. You guys click the link below to the next two videos popping up. And thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Till then, guys, it is OU.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.